In the heart of the Mediterranean, a city would rise to dominate the ancient world. This is the story of Rome, its meteoric ascent, its unrivaled power, and its dramatic fall. Through centuries, Rome shaped the course of history, leaving behind a legacy that still echoes today. Join us as we journey through time, from humble beginnings to imperial grandeur, and witness the epic saga of the Roman Empire. Our journey begins in the 8th century BCE, along the banks of the Tiber River. According to legend, Rome was founded in 753 BCE by Romulus and Remus, twin brothers raised by a she-wolf. Archaeological evidence points to small settlements merging into a single city. Rome's strategic location, surrounded by hills and near the sea, offered protection and access to trade routes, setting the stage for its early growth. Rome's earliest era was ruled by kings. The city grew through alliances, warfare, and the absorption of neighboring tribes. Etruscan influence shaped early Roman culture, architecture, and religion. By the late 6th century BCE, Romans overthrew their last king, Tarquin the Proud, marking the end of monarchy and the birth of a new political system, the Republic. 509 BCE marks the founding of the Roman Republic. Power shifted to elected magistrates and the Senate, a council of Rome's elite. The Republic's constitution balanced the interests of patricians and plebeians, though tensions often flared. This new system fostered civic participation and laid the groundwork for Rome's expansion. Throughout the 5th and 4th centuries BCE, Rome fought a series of wars to dominate the Italian peninsula. Through alliances, military prowess, and the construction of roads, Rome unified Italy under its control. The Roman legions became a symbol of discipline and strength, setting the stage for further conquests. Rome's ambitions soon clashed with Carthage, a powerful city-state in North Africa. The Punic Wars, fought between 264 and 146 BCE, were a series of brutal conflicts. Hannibal's legendary crossing of the Alps threatened Rome, but ultimately, Roman resilience prevailed. The destruction of Carthage marked Rome's dominance over the western Mediterranean. With Carthage defeated, Rome turned eastward. Over the next century, Roman armies conquered Greece, Egypt, and much of the Near East. By 100 BCE, Rome controlled vast territories from Spain to Asia Minor. This expansion brought immense wealth, but also new challenges: cultural integration, political corruption, and social unrest. Daily life in the Roman Republic was shaped by class divisions. Patricians enjoyed wealth and influence, while plebeians worked as farmers, artisans, and merchants. The Forum was the heart of public life, bustling with markets, debates, and religious ceremonies. Roman society valued discipline, family, and civic duty. Amid growing unrest, a charismatic general emerged, Julius Caesar. His military campaigns, in Gaul 5850 BCE, brought him fame and loyalty from his troops. In 49 BCE, Caesar crossed the Rubicon, igniting a civil war. By 46 BCE, he was declared dictator for life, but his concentration of power alarmed the Senate. On March 15, 44 BCE, Julius Caesar was assassinated by a group of senators. His death plunged Rome into chaos, as rival factions vied for control. The Republic, already weakened, teetered on the brink of collapse. The stage was set for a new era, the rise of the empire. Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, emerged victorious from the ensuing civil wars. In 27 BCE, he became Augustus, Rome's first emperor. Augustus reformed the government, secured the frontiers, and ushered in the Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and prosperity that would last for 2 centuries. Under Augustus and his successors, Rome reached new heights. The city was transformed with grand temples, forums, and amphitheaters. The Colosseum, completed in 80 CE, became a symbol of imperial power. Rome's population swelled to over 1 million, making it the largest city in the ancient world. The backbone of Rome's power was its legions, disciplined, well-trained soldiers who conquered and defended the empire's vast territories. Roman military organization, engineering, and tactics were unmatched. The legions built roads, forts, and bridges, ensuring Rome's dominance for centuries. By the early 2nd century CE, under Emperor Trajan, Rome reached its greatest territorial extent. The empire stretched from Britain to Egypt, from Spain to Mesopotamia. This vast realm was connected by a network of roads and sea routes, facilitating trade, communication, and cultural exchange. Life in the Roman Empire was diverse and vibrant. Citizens enjoyed public baths, theaters, and chariot races. Markets bustled with goods from across the empire. Roman law, language, and customs spread, uniting a mosaic of peoples under a common identity. Roman engineers built enduring monuments, aqueducts that carried water for miles, roads that spanned continents, and amphitheaters that hosted thousands. The Pantheon, with its massive dome, remains a testament to Roman innovation. These achievements showcased Rome's mastery of architecture and engineering. Roman law became the foundation for legal systems across Europe. The 12 Tables, codified in the 5th century BCE, established basic rights and procedures. Later, the Corpus Juris Civilis, under Emperor Justinian, preserved and systematized Roman law, influencing generations to come. Rome's economy thrived on agriculture, trade, and slavery. Grain from Egypt fed the masses, while luxury goods arrived from distant lands. The denarius became a standard currency, facilitating commerce across the empire. However, economic disparities and reliance on slave labor sowed seeds of instability. Religion played a central role in Roman life. The pantheon of gods and goddesses reflected Rome's values and traditions. Temples dotted the cityscape, and public festivals honored the divine. In the 4th century CE, Christianity, once persecuted, became the empire's official religion under Emperor Constantine. Roman art and literature flourished. Sculptors immortalized emperors and gods in marble. Poets like Virgil and Ovid wrote enduring works, while historians such as Livy and Tacitus chronicled Rome's triumphs and tragedies. Roman culture blended Greek influences with native traditions. Despite its grandeur, the empire faced growing instability. Succession crises, corruption, and power struggles plagued the imperial court. The 3rd century CE saw a rapid turnover of emperors, often installed or removed by the military. This era of chaos weakened Rome's foundations. Economic problems intensified. Inflation, heavy taxation, and reliance on slave labor strained the economy. The debasement of currency led to financial instability, while rural populations declined as people flocked to the cities. These issues undermined Rome's ability to sustain its vast empire. Rome's borders came under increasing pressure from external threats. Germanic tribes, Persians, and other groups launched frequent invasions. The cost of defending the frontiers drained resources, while the loyalty of the legions became uncertain. Rome's military supremacy was no longer guaranteed. In the late 3rd century CE, Emperor Diocletian attempted to restore order. He divided the empire into eastern and western halves, each ruled by an Augustus and a subordinate Caesar. Diocletian's reforms stabilized the government and economy, but the division would have lasting consequences. Emperor Constantine, ruling from 306 to 337 CE, reunited the empire and embraced Christianity. The Edict of Milan in 313 CE granted religious tolerance, and Constantine founded a new capital, Constantinople in the east. Christianity's rise transformed Roman society and would shape Europe for centuries. After Constantine's death, the empire was permanently divided into eastern and western halves. The Eastern Roman Empire, later known as Byzantium, would endure for another 1,000 years. The Western Empire, however, faced mounting crises and would soon collapse. The 5th century CE brought waves of invasions. Visigoths, Vandals, and Huns swept across the Western Empire. In 410 CE, Rome was sacked by the Visigoths, a shocking blow to Roman prestige. The empire's defenses crumbled as provinces fell to foreign powers. In Patru Sudi Shaptazh Shishasa CE, the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. This event marks the traditional end of the Western Roman Empire. The once mighty empire had fallen, its territories now ruled by successor kingdoms. While the West fell, the Eastern Roman Empire Byzantium endured. Centered in Constantinople, it preserved Roman law, culture, and Christianity. Byzantium would face its own challenges, but its survival ensured that the legacy of Rome lived on for centuries. The Roman Empire's influence is still felt today. Its laws, language, architecture, and ideas shaped Western civilization. Latin became the foundation for Romance languages, while Roman engineering inspired generations. The dream of Rome lived on in art, literature, and the imagination of future empires. Roman roads connected the empire, enabling trade, communication, and military movement. Cities were laid out with forums, baths, and amphitheaters, reflecting Roman order and urban planning. Many modern European cities trace their origins to Roman foundations. Aqueducts were engineering marvels that supplied cities with fresh water. The Aqua Appia, built in 312 BCE, was the first of many. These structures enabled urban growth and improved public health, showcasing Roman ingenuity. Public baths were a hallmark of Roman cities. They served as centers for hygiene, relaxation, and socialization. The baths of Caracalla, completed in the 3rd century CE, could accommodate thousands, reflecting the importance of public life in Roman culture. Amphitheaters, such as the Colosseum, hosted gladiatorial games and public spectacles. These events entertained and unified the populace, while also demonstrating imperial power. The architecture of Roman amphitheaters influenced later stadium designs. Roman ships traversed the Mediterranean, connecting distant provinces. Trade flourished, bringing goods like grain, olive oil, and wine to Rome. The empire's prosperity depended on secure sea routes and bustling ports. Markets were the lifeblood of Roman cities. Merchants sold goods from across the empire, from African spices to Eastern silks. The bustling marketplaces reflected Rome's economic diversity and cosmopolitan character. Education was highly valued in Roman society. Boys from wealthy families studied literature, rhetoric, and philosophy, often with Greek tutors. Education prepared future leaders for roles in government and society, reinforcing Roman values and traditions. Women in Rome played vital roles in family and society. While excluded from politics, elite women could wield influence behind the scenes. They managed households, participated in religious rituals, and sometimes became patrons of the arts. Slavery was a cornerstone of the Roman economy. Enslaved people worked in households, farms, mines, and public projects. While some gained freedom, most endured harsh conditions. The reliance on slave labor contributed to social tensions and economic challenges. Festivals and public holidays were central to Roman life. Events like Saturnalia and Lupercalia featured feasting, games, and religious ceremonies. These celebrations reinforced community bonds and honored the gods. Roman architecture combined utility and grandeur. Innovations like the arch, vault, and concrete enabled the construction of vast public buildings. Structures such as the Pantheon and aqueducts remain enduring symbols of Roman achievement. Roman roads were marvels of engineering, designed for durability and efficiency. Built with layers of stone and gravel, they connected cities and military outposts across the empire. Milestones marked distances, and bridges spanned rivers, ensuring the movement of armies and goods. At its height, the Roman Empire spanned 3 continents. Its borders stretched from Britain in the northwest to Egypt in the south, and from Spain in the west to Mesopotamia in the east. This vast territory was unified by Roman law, roads, and culture. Rome's history unfolds across more than a millennium, from its legendary founding in 753 BCE, through the Republic and Empire, to the fall of the West in 476 CE. Each era brought new challenges and achievements. This timeline highlights the key moments that shaped Rome's destiny. The story of Rome is one of ambition, innovation, and resilience. Though the empire fell, its spirit endures in our laws, languages, and cities. The echoes of Rome remind us of the heights humanity can reach, and the lessons history teaches. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire remains one of history's greatest epics.